In this video demonstration, I'm going to show you how to use the new JND464 6-inch diorama card along with the JND465 Village Scenes 2024 to make a beautiful sort of opening card. So this is almost like a booklet card. So we can actually see, it will stand up, but you're actually seeing scenes through there. But it's really simple and easy to do. And with the Village Scenes 2024, these have been made, again, new scenes, but have been made a lot smaller. So they will suit our smaller cards. We can easily get this onto a 5-inch. This will make us a beautiful sort of 5-inch frame. It works really well on the small size. So to start with, we're going to use the outer die from this set. So we're going to use the outer die from the diorama. We're going to use the insert section. So I want to put that down, I want to put that down, and I want to put that down. But for the window, I'm going to use the smaller panel that comes from the Village Scenes. So we'd simply place all of those together. I tend to use a long piece of tape, pick up the smaller, frame it right on the larger piece, make sure I'm happy with that, get it into the frame piece, and we would run all of that through together. And that will give us the perfect front cover for our card. So here we have our front cover with our cut in. And I simply then start the folding process with the folds that are included. So I basically fold down. I want to go one panel. So I want one panel to be flat, just there. So that fold will be, I fold up, I fold down to create, I fold back up so that I'm creating a page. I fold back just like that. And if you can see on the original, this time I only want one page. So there I have my one page. I fold back just like that. And this section here will attach to make the tab. So I want to open this one up. I'm using power tape. I would suggest you use a wet glue or power tape. And I want to glue that little flap together. If you want to see how to make this totally into a book, then you want to go and watch the 5-inch diorama card video, which was released for 2023 Christmas. This is the 6-inch version. So just pull those two together. You can see there now I have my page in my book. I want to take a piece of tape and run that along this back panel here. And again, release that. And on this I can take another panel cut with the die, or I can simply cut a 6-inch piece and I can drop that in using my guillotine. So there I have the basis of my 2-stage. So now we want to put our panels onto that on. So I take a piece of card that's been cut just short on 6 inches, and using the die from the square die from the Village Scenes, I've cut out a panel from the middle. I've then taken one of the Village Scenes, and this is the little deers, and I've cut this onto a scrap of card. And all I want to do now is to turn this over, and if you can see here, I have included all of the taping already for this to start with. So I'm just going to reveal the tape on here all the way around, nice and simple. And I'm going to take my Village Scenes and I'm going to drop that in at the point where I want that. I can then turn that over, take my trimmer, so take my freestyle trimmer and trim off the excess. It will easily peel back off my mat. I say that and then it doesn't, of course. I'm going to turn that over, and obviously here I have some area that isn't taped. So I just want to add a little bit more tape onto this. Nice and simply. It doesn't have to be taped everywhere because we're going to seal this in. So I'm just going to reveal that, and I'm simply going to take a piece of acetate for strength. I'm just using a piece of A5 Kaleido acetate. And I'm going to pop that on to cover it. And again, I can trim that out using my freestyle trimmer. Pull back a little way. Take my excess acetate off. This is a lot easier than using scissors, certainly if you're one of those people who struggle with scissors. So we trim that down. But of course, it's not very attractive from the back. So I'm going to take some more of the tape and just attach this on. And I'm going across all of the levels. Nice and simply. A little bit of acetate showing there, so just take my knife and I can take that excess off and pop that onto there and trim that. And what I've done is I've cut another aperture in waterfall glitter card, and I've cut this slightly larger. This is at 7 inches so that I can trim it down to fit, as you want this to be neat because you're going to see both sides. So at this point you could add in glitter and make this into a shaker card. I'm just going to leave it plain so it floats and cover that completely over so it's been encapsulated from both sides. And again, take my freestyle trimmer and trim off my excess. And I'm just pulling back a little bit so I see a little bit of silver. You'll get used to where your line is. You can always retrim, but this is a lot easier way to trim it down. Just like this. It's an absolute boon. There we go. See that I've got a little bit of white showing, so I just go back in with my freestyle trimmer, take that little sliver off. Again, I'm not happy, go back in. So much easier. So there I've got all of that completely encapsulated. So now I take my book, and on this spine here, I'm going to add a piece of power tape. Cut that down. Reveal my tape and simply place my panel nicely in. When I close, you can see then you're looking through, you get the silver all through that. We open, it's neat. Again, it's neat on the back. I've then taken the piece that came from the center and I've cut a different village scene. So this time I've cut the one just with the house, and I can just adhere that on and stick it onto the back. So I've done this with foam tape because I can, because we've got enough depth in here. So this is great for holding flowers and things like that. And I'm simply using a wet glue, place it into position and move it around. That's why I use a wet glue, to make sure that's exactly where I want it. And there we have our 3-stage. So we look through, each one is neat, and put your message in there, and then you can simply decorate that however you want to, with flowers, foliage, whatever else. I've got here a couple of little bits cut from the box kit, so I could pop those on. Again, put a little flower in there. I think that sort of raises the colour a little bit too much, but nice and simple and easy to do, and gives us an absolutely beautiful look. And you can see here again with the finished one, the two different ones that we make.